All right, today we're going to attempt, which you're going to all be successful at, writing two-step equations. So in all of these problems, these equations that you're going to write, it's going to be more than one step in order for you to get the answer on these problems. All right, so let's look at what we have here in the worksheet for these problems. In this problem here, it says a mail order company is advertising a sale. During the sale, CDs are $7 each, and the shipping and handling charge is only $5. Now the $5 is for shipping and handling. How many CDs can you buy for $40? Okay, first, it doesn't have it on here, but first we have to define our variable. I'm going to say X as my variable. You can use something else, equals CDs. All right, X represents the CDs. Now my equation. Well, how much is it going to equal altogether? It equals $40. How many CDs can you buy for $40? Well, they're $7 each. 7 times X, you got to save money for shipping and handling, plus 5 equals $40. Okay? Now it's easy. You go straight into your step. To undo adding 5, minus 5, your result, put your equal sign, 7 times X equals 35. Step, to undo multiplying by 7, divide both sides by 7, cancel, X equals 5. So he can buy 5 CDs. Let's do the check. Does 7 times 5, which is 35, plus 5 equal 40? Yes, it does. Now, since it says check, you have to do a check on these. Any questions? The second example is about a rectangle. And I'm going to encourage all of you to draw a rectangle. It says a window is 34 inches wide. Here's my window. And I'm going to say this is my width. It's 34. If it's 34 here, it's 34 there. And the perimeter equals 188 inches. Perimeter is when you add all sides. And it has 4 sides. Okay, what is the length of the window? So this is my length. You don't have just one of them, you have 2 of them, don't you? So I'm going to write down my equation. You have length plus 34 plus 34 equals 188. Now there are other ways of writing it. If you wanted to write down 2 times L plus 34 equals 188, that's fine. But I think when we first start doing them, it's just really nice to show how we add all of the sides together. Now I'm going to combine my like terms. We have 2L's plus 68 equals 188. Does everyone see how I got that? Now it's an easy equation to solve. Minus 68 minus 68. Draw your line and cancel. Bring down your equal sign. 2 times L equals 120. To undo multiplying by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. L equals 60 inches. Any questions? Now for the check step. Does 60 plus 60 plus 34 plus 34, does that equal 188?
Yes, Mom.
Yes, it does. Are there any questions? Okay. Now the next question, we're going to skip number 3 for right now, and we're going to go to the back and do this other rectangle question. Example number 5. Okay, so let's just do, this time it deals with area. And kids, the area of a rectangle, the formula is length times width. So you're going to take this times that. So x plus 5 in parentheses times 12. Now it says if the area of the rectangle below is 180 feet squared, find the value of x. So my equation is going to be 12 times x plus 5 equals 180. Do you see how I got that?
Yes.
Now we are going to use the distributive property. 12 times x and 12 times 5. 12 times x is 12x. 12 times 5 is 60, and that equals 180. Is everyone still following me? Well, good. Now, we have to undo adding 60 first. So our step 1, subtract 60, subtract 60. Draw your line and cancel. Bring down the equal sign. 12 times x equals 120. Our next step, divide by 12, divide by 12. X equals 10. It just said to find the value for x. Now, if they wanted to know what this length is, you wouldn't say 10. What would you say the length is?
22.
15. 10 plus 5, its length would be 15 feet. Okay? Sometimes they'll ask a question like that. But here, it was a simple find the value of x. Now let's check to make sure it really is 10. Does 12 times 10 plus 5, which is 15, equal 180? Well, 12 times 15, yes, it does. It equals 180. Any questions on that? Yes.
At the beginning, how did you get x plus 5?
Right here is the x plus 5.
I wrote that all on the wrong.
And that's the 12. That's where it gave me x plus 5.
I accidentally wrote it on example 4. So
All right.
I wasn't.
Okay. Good. This one is a little more challenging. So you know that you have $425 plus 20x equals $485. Okay? Now, we want to know how many hours he worked. All right? Now, we're going to have an extra little step at the end of this problem, and I'll show you that when we do this one. So here we go. Minus 425 minus 425. 20x equals, so how many hours did he work overtime? 0, 8 minus 2 is 6. Now, 20 times what equals 60? Divide by 20, divide by 20. X equals 3. So he worked 3 hours of overtime, right? Now the question is not how many hours of overtime did he work. It wants to know how many hours did Chris work if he earned $458. Well, he worked 40 hours plus what? 40 plus 3. He worked 43 hours. Any questions on that problem? Okay. Now, if you do the check step is for that, it equals 3. So does 425, 20 times 3 is 60? Yes. But our final answer to this question is 43 hours. 3 hours of overtime. I don't think they will be that tricky on the test. I'm going to look at the questions on the test. And then tomorrow, or definitely Thursday, we'll go over the types of things for you to expect. All right. Are we ready for the next problem? Okay. Now, this one here, it wants to know the total cost of the phone. It says the total cost of the phone call is $5.40. How long did Jeff talk on the phone? This one is sort of like example 3 again. Okay, so we have $1 for the first minute plus 10 cents. Now, I know this is sort of old-fashioned. You don't ever have to pay for your phone calls. Everybody has cell phones and everything is just wonderful. But used to, you had to pay for phones. I don't think there's going to be a phone call question on your test, but this is the same worksheet they're using at the middle school or the junior high, so we just want to go over it just in case there is. I think they're taking this question off the test. Just in case they're not, though, I want you to be prepared. Now, in this problem, our step is let's subtract the dollar for the first minute. You have 10 cents a minute, and that's going to equal $4.40. Now, the tricky part here is the decimal, kids. Divide by 10 cents, divide by 10 cents. Now, $4.40. How many dimes are in $4.40? Move your decimal point 2 places. Some of you are still a little weak with your decimal computation skills. So when you have a decimal in the divisor, you have to kick it out. And however many kicks it takes to remove it there, you move this decimal place the same number of times. 10 goes into 44 4 times. That's 40. Subtract. Bring down. How many 10s are in a 40? 44. So X is 44 minutes. And does that work? Well, does $1 for the first minute plus 0.10 times 44 equal $5.40? Well, $4.40 plus $1. Yes, it does. But the question is, the total cost of the phone, it wants to know, how long did Jeff talk on the phone? Was
45 minutes.
how many?
44 minutes.
No.
45 minutes.
45 minutes. The 44 plus the 1, the answer to the question is 45 minutes. Okay, that's really like a 3-step equation, isn't it? After you figure out X, then you have to go back. Do you see how the answer is 45 minutes? Okay. 45. The first minute was $1. Then every minute after is 10. So they paid for 44 minutes at 10 cents a minute, and then the first minute, so it equals 45 minutes. Any questions? Now, I'm going to give you this worksheet. Now, you have more time than my first period class, so I'm going to give you an extra challenge. You're going to do all of the problems on this, and you do have to define a variable. On the back side, number 9 is a cell phone problem. I will make that optional because I don't think there's a cell phone problem on the test. Now, you though, I want you to try. You have to try the challenge problem. Okay, now I'm going to give this to you.
Oh, yes, Dad.
And let's do our very best.